My name is Matt Huentelman. I'm a member of the Precision Aging Network, and I am a scientist in Phoenix, Arizona. My laboratory is located at the Translational Genomics Research Institute, and I study genetics. So I study how your particular genetic makeup might be related to brain health or brain disease. And because of that, I think we should talk about the family tree today, because we're going to be around our family, and maybe we're going to look at aunts, uncles, other relatives, and wonder if that's a crystal ball for my future. In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. But I think that's a typical thing that we do at this time of the year. So even though everybody knows the answer to this, because Martha did an amazing job of talking about how dementia is not a normal part of getting old, I wanted to remind you that this statement absolutely is not true. This is false. Dementia is not a normal part of getting old. But I wanted to give you some statistics to think about when it comes to this. Don't forget that dementia is defined as memory and thinking problems that interfere with doing everyday activities. Martha went into this very clearly. But the number one risk factor for dementia is, in fact, age. However, you can see the statistics below. It doesn't mean you should be scared of getting older. In fact, it's estimated that only 3% of adults between the ages of 70 to 74, for example, have dementia. I also put a couple additional things down below for us to think about, because these are areas of interesting research that we're trying to do and better understand. And that is that women are slightly more likely to have dementia compared to men. And also non-Hispanic white adults are less likely to develop dementia than most of the other racial and ethnic groups. These are areas of active research to better understand what's going on. But I did, of course, work in one of the a poll question for all of you. So we are going to answer this question together with a true-false poll, just like you've done previously. And the question is, my mom and dad, my mom or my dad, whatever you want to imagine, had dementia, so I will have dementia too. Is that true or false? And we'll give you 20 seconds to answer that. And there's the poll with the majority, vast majority, saying false. And that is absolutely correct. It is false. So just because your mom or dad has had dementia, that is not a guarantee. That is not a crystal ball for your future. There are ways to avoid dementia. It's not all determined by your genetics. So what is it determined by? Well, it's determined by both genetics and non-genetic factors. Those can include health, medical, and lifestyle factors. So we know a lot about the genes that are linked to dementia risk, but we also still don't know everything. So there's more to be learned about genetic testing that might help you know about your dementia risk. And we're not going to do a poll for this one. Just think of what the answer might be. And that is the statement that I can't do anything to lower my risk for dementia today. I am doomed. And of course, that is not true. That is absolutely false. There are things that all of us can do, regardless of our age, to help decrease our risk for dementia. And that is where we're going to end today, is with a list of things that you could do to decrease your risk of dementia. The neat thing is, if you think back to the previous discussions, the previous talks that we've had today, some of these overlap with the recommendations about what to do at this time of the year, just to make everything run smoothly in your life. So we could carry those new good habits into the new year. And this is the list. These are the 6 strongest things I can recommend. Eat a well-balanced and varied diet. We know that diet is important for body health. The other theme here that you'll see is that body health is related to brain health. So if you're making a decision that you know is good for your body, it's likely a decision that's very good for your brain health. Exercise, aerobic, and strength training are recommended. You don't have to turn yourself into a big bodybuilder, but it is important to do some of that strength training as well as aerobic training. Socialize, try new things, that's great, and keep doing the things you like. So try to keep doing the things that bring you pleasure, especially if they're associated with socializing with others. That's really important for your brain health. Keep that stress under control. This is a really tough thing for all of us to do, especially at this time of the year, but we know that stress leads to the production of chemicals which are not good for your brain and body health. So let's try and keep that under control. Manage your existing diseases and conditions. So work with your doctor to take care of the things that you know are a problem today. If you have high blood pressure, make sure you're trying to regulate that with your doctor, for example. And lastly, get enough sleep. This is very personalized. Some of us need 7, some of us need 9. Some days I feel like I need 12 hours of sleep. But sleep is really, really important for the health of your brain. There is some rejuvenation that happens when you're sleeping. So that's really important. I'm going to kick it back to David at this point. I just wanted to leave you with those final 6 things that you can do today to help lower your risk for dementia.
Okay, so thanks so much to our speakers. I guess I shouldn't thank myself, but thanks so much, Matt. And Jody, I think you had some questions for Matt, maybe a little bit of comment to see if he can expand a little bit more.
Sure. Can you share a bit more, Matt, about the Precision Aging Network and its importance in helping us identify ways to build healthy minds for life?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to take a second to talk about the Precision Aging Network. We, and I include myself and others on this Zoom presentation today, we are a group of scientists that are focused on better understanding how to help our brains last as long as our bodies. We currently know that on average, our bodies outlast our brains. So our brains break down first on average before our bodies. But the neat thing is, we all know some people who were their brains were perfect until the very end. And those people are interesting to science. So we're trying to understand these personal factors that can put us on the right path for a healthy mind for life. And what we mean by that is, how can your brain last as long as your body can? This is really interesting because if you think back to the list that I just showed everyone, that takes a lot of time to do each of those 6 things on the list. We think that we can better recommend the exact approach based on all the factors in your life. If we can consider those, we can make very personalized recommendations about how to best help your brain age. And the last thing I'll say is that you can join our study. You can take part in our study without even leaving your house. So there's a link right there. This is the front door to the Precision Aging Network. This is MindCrowd, which is an internet-based study of the brain. It just takes 10 minutes. You can go to that link right there, mindcrowd.org/holidays, and you can join our study. And some of you will even qualify to come and join us in a face-to-face version of this study that we call Healthy Minds for Life.